Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you all in my next zoology class, but this class is dedicated to 12th standard. We have studied human reproduction. Prior to this, we have discussed two lectures about introduction to mammalian reproductive system. Right now, we will be dealing with human male reproductive system. But this will be an introductory part. Human male reproductive system. Prior to discussing anything about human male reproductive system, let me make you aware of the fact that whether males or females, both male sex as well as female sex, contain primary sex organs, secondary sex organs, as well as some glands that are essential for well-being or the functioning of human male reproductive system or human female reproductive system. Right now, this is an introductory class to human male reproductive system. Okay, let us start. But in class 11th, you might have studied something, human excretory system. Because human excretory system is having correlation with human reproductive system. Here it is just a schematic representation of human excretory system, in which Almighty has bestowed us with a pair of kidneys, and from the kidneys special tubes emerge out. These special tubes you call ureters. Along with ureters, human males or human females have urinary bladder. After urinary bladder is over, then another tube, this tube you call urethra. It is this urethra that is the common passage for micturition or urine expulsion, as well as it's the common urethra for sperm discharging. So, the first point of concern here is that in case of humans, excretory system is correlated to reproductive system. When I say this is urethra, it is this urethra that has attached a very unique structure, that is the male copulatory organ or the penile structures. Now, these two tubes actually are the ureters. So here also, this tube and this tube, it is ureter. This is the diagram for human male reproductive system. This is the easiest diagram. Now, this structure, this sac-like structure here is actually the urinary bladder. This urinary bladder. Here, you may see urinary bladder. Attached with the urinary bladder, there are present two tubes. These two tubes are ureters. Here also is the urinary bladder. Along with the urinary bladder, there are present two tubes. These tubes are called ureters. Hope you got the basic concept why I have drawn here excretory system of humans, because excretory system is correlated to reproductive system. Now, before going through the introduction of human male reproductive system, let me make you people aware that this human male reproductive system contains primary sex organs, secondary sex organs, and some glands, reproductive glands that are essential for the functioning of reproductive system. In our first or second lecture, we have studied that the primary sex organs in case of males include testicles. These testicles are responsible for formation of sperms or spermatogenesis, as well as for the formation of male sex hormones. Simultaneously, secondary sex characters are an integral structures that are responsible for the copulation to occur. The example of a secondary structure, secondary sex organ here is penile structure. And there are also present very special glands, those represented in the diagram in blue color. These structures we have to study every structure in detail. Now, if we analyze the human male reproductive system, this human male reproductive system first of all contains testicles or a pair of testes. This is one testicle, this is second testicle. Actually, the testes are located in a special sac, and this sac you call, this sac here you call scrotum. So there is a testicle, and testicle is located actually in scrotum. Testicle is usually especially located in scrotum. And when we analyze the scrotum, this scrotum is actually divided into two scrotal sacs. This is the first sac, this is the second sac. And in between the two sacs, there is a muscular partition. This muscular partition is known as septal scroti. Actually, the scrotum is a pouch of pigmented skin. It is a pouch of pigmented skin because the scrotum contains abundant number of pigment cells. Scrotum has epidermis, just like our skin has epidermis and dermis. Same is the case here with scrotum. Scrotum also contains epidermis as well as dermis. It is this dermis that actually contains the pigmented cells. Now the next point is like that. Internally, the scrotum is divided into two sacs by septal scroti, a partition. And in each scrotum, respective testicle is present. This is one testicle, this is second testicle. Okay, along with the testicle, there is present a special structure, a special cord-like structure. This cord-like structure is known as gubernaculum. Gubernaculum. We will discuss it later. This scrotum also contains special types of muscles. This scrotum also contains special types of muscles. Here it is dermis. So these muscles are actually known as autostonic muscles. Now the next point is like that. In our body, there is present hypothalamus. It is this hypothalamus that is usually known as thermostat of my body. When I say thermostat, I mean to say that this hypothalamus regulates the body temperature. You have studied in class 11th that humans are homeothermous. When I say humans are homeothermous, that means humans have a fixed body temperature of usually 37 degrees Celsius. Simultaneously, there is a structure. This structure is known as scrotum. This scrotum acts as, it is this scrotum that acts as thermostat. Thermostat for testicles. When I say thermostat, I mean temperature regulator, temperature controller for testicles. this scrotum acts as thermostat. What happens actually is that it is this scrotum that keeps the temperature of the testicles. It is this scrotum that keeps the temperature of the testicles approximately 2 degrees Celsius less than body temperature. Scrotum keeps the temperature of testicles approximately 2 degrees less than the body temperature. Because at body temperature, spermatogenesis, formation of sperms, does not occur in a sophisticated manner. But less 2 degree temperature is an ideal condition for the testes to undergo spermatogenesis. This is written in your book Guyton and Hall, that testicles work better at basically 34 degrees Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius less than your body temperature, or 35 degrees Celsius. Now the next point is that in case of human fetus, fetus is a structure that undergoes development in the uterus of females. In case of fetus, what happens is that testes are usually formed. Testes are usually formed in the abdominal region of our body. Testes are usually formed in the abdominal areas, near the kidneys. When we study testes, their microscopic anatomy, their origin, I will say something called genital ridges. Genital ridges are actually the structures from which testicles are formed. But right now, here I am saying that during fetal development, testes are formed in the abdominal region, in the abdominal cavity, near the kidneys. In the last trimester, when I say trimester, I mean first 3 months plus second 3 months. This first trimester, this second trimester plus 3 months, 3, 3, 6 and 3 make 9. Gestation period, pregnancy period of approximately 270 days. It is divided into 3 trimesters. First trimester, second trimester and third trimester. In the third trimester, especially in the 7th month, what happens is that these testicles then descend into the respective scrotal sacs. These testicles then descend into the respective scrotal sacs. Left scrotal sac, right scrotal sac. Through a special passage, a खास जगह से, this special passage you call inguinal canal. Inguinal canal. Now, we are dealing with the first point, that is, human male reproductive system contains testicles. These testicles are actually located in a special sac-like structure. This pouch is known as scrotum. This scrotum acts as thermoregulator. It keeps the testicles temperature less 2 degrees Celsius. That temperature is an ideal for spermatogenesis to occur in these special machines, or you may call testicles. Now, उसके बाद मैंने ये कहा है कि in the last trimester of gestation period, what happens is that usually the testicles are formed in the abdominal cavity. Then these testicles descend through a special path, a खास area से. This special path you call inguinal canal, directly into the respective scrotal sacs. Now, next point is like that. If this is the pregnant mother here, the reproductive system of pregnant lady, here I am drawing it. Human fetus. This human fetus has a link with the maternal blood by a special structure. When I say maternal blood, I mean mother. This fetus has a link with a unique structure. This unique structure is known as placenta. Placenta. We have to deal with this in later classes. This placenta acts as endocrine structure. One function of placenta is endocrine structure. It has several functions. One is the nutritive function. But right now here I am discussing is that placenta at one stage acts as endocrine structure. When I say placenta acts as endocrine structure, I mean placenta will be producing signaling molecules or hormones. When a special type of hormone produced by our placenta, by the mother's placenta, is known as human chorionic gonadotropin. One special type of hormone produced by the placenta is known as human chorionic gonadotropin. It is this human chorionic gonadotropin hormone that stimulates the testes to descend. That stimulates the testicles, the right testicle and the left testicle to descend into the scrotal sac. If this hormone is not produced, then the testes will fail to descend into the scrotum. Now the point of concern here is that if the testicles will fail to descend into the scrotum, you call this disorder as cryptochidism. In our books, it's mentioned that if testosterone therapy is given to the young one suffering from cryptochidism, that means his testes fail to descend into the scrotum. At that time, testes will descend. If testosterone therapy, if testosterone hormone is administered in the young one who is suffering from cryptochidism, that is his testes fail to descend into the scrotum. At that time, testosterone administration, injection of testosterone can rectify the disease, can cause the testes to descend into the scrotal sacs. Okay. Let me add one more point here, that is, these testicles always remain in the scrotal sac in case of humans and certain other mammals. In case of, we are dealing here with humans, in case of humans, these testicles always remain hanging in the scrotal sacs. But there are certain animals which are called seasonal breeders. Those are called seasonal breeders. In seasonal breeder here means those organisms which can reproduce, which can copulate at a particular season of the year. In case of seasonal breeders, what happens is that usually in case of seasonal breeders, the testicles are located in their abdominal cavities. Then when the particular season approaches, at that time only these testicles then descend into the scrotal sacs. For example, in case of bats, flying mammals, their testicles remain in the abdominal cavity, and once the reproductive season approaches, then only these testicles descend into the scrotal sacs, and then undergo spermatogenesis and sperm formation occurs. Now next point is that if you are taking chill baths, if a human being or a male is taking chill baths, what will happen is that the temperature of the testicles will go below than the permissible limits. our body will shiver. But here at chill baths, after having chill baths, these sucrotal sacs shrink. When I say sucrotal sacs shrink, in biology books it is written that sucrotal sacs becomes folded or sucrotal sacs become corrugated, so that these testicles can be pushed towards the abdominal cavity. During chill baths, what happens is that temperature decreases. When temperature decreases, at that time, scrotum becomes corrugated. It becomes shrinked. Or, what I mean to say is that scrotum becomes highly folded. This folding of scrotum, this corrugation of scrotum pushes the testicles in an upward direction, that is towards the abdominal cavity, so that the testicles can be heated up. In contrast to this, if there is excessive increase in temperature, actually during summer season, what happens in summer season is that these testicles, these scrotal sacs become flexed or extended. These scrotal sacs enlarge. When I say scrotal sacs enlarge, so that the scrotal sacs enlarge, so that the testicles temperature becomes less. The temperature of the testicles gets reduced. And simultaneously these scrotal sacs sweat profusely. These scrotal sacs then sweat profusely. Both are sweating, so that the cooling effect is received by the testicles, so that temperature gets reduced and the testicles will perform their function, that is spermatogenesis and the formation of hormones. Now, this is a scrotal sac. In the scrotal sac, there are present testicles. So, should I write here that human male reproductive system includes, number one, a pair of testicles located in, number two, scrotum. Here is number one, testicles, number two, scrotum, number three, along with the testicles के साथ there is a special comma-shaped structure, this colored in black. Along with the testicles, there is a special comma